Hello, football fans. Well, it's been a week, but it still was an amazing conference championship Sunday. I loved the conference championships. I always loved the last round before the final round. Of course, the NFL, the NHL, and the NBA have the conference finals. Major League Baseball has the league championship series, and of course, the NFL has the conference championships. And championship Sunday, and this year was no exception. So here's what took place last Sunday in the conference championships. Of course, first off was the NFC game between the Commanders and Eagles, and like I said, it was a rubber match. Of course, the season series was split, and it was pretty good at first, but then Philly started to run away with it. Literally, Saquon was Saquon, and Jalen Hurts was leading the way, and it just all got out of hand. Washington tried, but the Eagles just too much for them. And of course, there was that crazy sequence where they jumped off sides about 100 times during that tush push. I mean, I've never seen a thing like that. And I think we were actually, if they'd done it one more time, the ref actually said they're going to reward the touchdown for free. And I think that's in the rule book. I think it is, but it was just some crazy stuff there. But so yeah, Philly just dominated the whole thing. Just no chance for Washington after that halftime, pretty much. Remember when the Eagles were 2-2? The coach was being jeered at, and things were just going awry. They've lost one game since then, one game, and here they are in the Super Bowl for the second time in 3 years, and it's just amazing what they've done, because it comes off of last year when they started 10-1 and they fell off at the end. But yeah, they're representing the NFC again, and overall this is I think this is their fifth Super Bowl appearance overall. They won in their past four. Of course, they won Super Bowl 52 7 years ago. As for the Commanders, they have a lot to be proud of. Nobody expected them to be in the playoffs, let alone get this far and play for the conference. Remember, this team won 4 games last year. They won 4 games last year, and all of a sudden they made this big turnaround and are playing and end up playing for the conference. Almost made it to the Super Bowl. And the best part about that is Daniel Snyder, all he can do is stew and stew and stew over the fact that the team got better once he had to sell it. Isn't that amazing? That's what happens when you get rid of a toxic owner and you get rid of a racist name. Good things happen. Now on to the other game. This is exactly what I was afraid of. Actually, it was exactly what a lot of people were afraid of. I'm just at a loss here. I mean, once Buffalo won that divisional playoff game, I said pretty much out loud, Kansas City is a free ride to Super Bowl. Josh can't win an Arrowhead. Josh can't beat the Chiefs. Every time he runs the Arrowhead, he blows it. I mean, there were chances, and yes, the refs did help Kansas City. That's a fact, but that just added insult to injury. I honestly think even if the refs hadn't helped Kansas City, Josh would have still blown this, because he can't win an Arrowhead. He just can't. And yeah, against all odds, they still had a chance, but they got the field goal range and they made it, and Buffalo just couldn't convert on fourth down, and Kansas City got the first down they needed to allow this to happen. They're one win away, folks. One win away from being the first to three-peat. Oh boy, yeah. So remember when this Chiefs team was actually likable, and I myself, the more this happens, the more I get so mad at myself for believing that this team was going to be less toxic than the Patriots dynasty. But we all hated the Patriots dynasty. And when the Chiefs finally emerged, we were like, finally, a breath of fresh air. They're going to be most valuable. I said it immensely. I said it immensely, and I said it loud. The Chiefs, they're going to be much more likable than New England. Boy, was I off. I was completely off. They are much worse. And here's how. At least with the Patriots dynasty, it was only Tom Brady and the fans that were kind of toxic. With the Chiefs, everybody is. Everybody is. With the only exception being Coach Reed, though they're ruining him, which is another thing. Everybody on that Chiefs team is toxic. Mahomes, Kelsey, we all know about that kicker. It is just awful. And another thing, the refs definitely help New England, but it's worse with Kansas City, and they're not hiding it either. But so yeah, while the refs did have a role in this Kansas City Chiefs victory, let's not forget who else is to blame here. I said it in my story on Vocal, and the link is above right there. I said it there, and I'm going to say it here. Don't. I don't want to hear it, Bills fans. I don't want to hear it. I do not want to hear the excuses. I am tired of them. I'm tired of them. Every time Josh Allen, every time that man chokes in the playoff, and yes, he does choke. Every time he chokes, especially against Kansas City, I hear the excuses. I hear the excuses. The first that divisional round, that game that went to overtime, they blamed the overtime rules. Last year they blamed Diggs, even though the ball wasn't catchable, and they blamed the kicker. Okay, they're blaming the refs now. Yes, the refs played a factor, but still, it was up to Josh to rise above that and win it, and he didn't. I don't want to hear the excuses. Bills fans are always quick to call Lamar Jackson a perennial choke artist, but when Josh Allen is always Mahomes' pet, they come out with the excuses. They blame everybody but him. And I said this when I wrote about the Bills' win against Kansas City during regular season. What did I say? Bills fans knew what the goal was. Do it in January. And as usual, they didn't. They didn't. This is exactly why I was heartbroken as hell when Baltimore lost. Because I knew the Chiefs were going to beat them. Lamar would have beaten the Chiefs. Lamar would have beaten the Chiefs. Russell Wilson would have beaten the Chiefs. And I know Joe Burrow would have beaten the Chiefs because he's done it. But yeah, keep blaming the coach, Bills fans, if that helps you. It wasn't McDermott out there throwing bad passes and screwing up when it counted. It was the fool wearing number 17. And there it is, folks. There is Super Bowl 59. And football fans call themselves rage quitting. I don't know why. I don't see why you would not watch the Super Bowl. It's the biggest game of the year. I don't care if it's a team you just can't stand. You got to see it because it's the greatest spectacle. It's the greatest spectacle in the world. It is. And I'm a diehard hockey fan. I can admit that. So there it is, folks. Next Sunday, Eagles, Chiefs in New Orleans. As they say over there, les aigles bon ton roulé, let the good times roll. So that is my recap of Championship Sunday. If you like this video, click the like button. If you're on YouTube, click subscribe if you want more. If you're on TikTok, feel free to hit that follow button. Again, the link to my story is right above, is right there above where you can. And I'll be back next week to recap the Super Bowl. So all I have to say is this: stay tuned and try your best to enjoy the big game. I certainly will.